Hey, welcome back to the channel. My name is Mitchell.weijerman and I'm super excited to put together this video for you because in this video I am going to reveal how I became a millionaire at the age of 28 and I'm going to share 3 important components that everyone should integrate in their life, at least if your goal is to become financially free. So let's get started. A few years ago, I went to a conference from Grant Cardone in Miami, 10x GrowthCon. He rented out a massive arena in Miami, and I remember really well sitting in the audience, sitting in the crowd. Grant Cardone was speaking on stage, and he was standing in front of a whiteboard, and he said, "There's only 3 things that you need in life to become financially free." And this really triggered me because he made it sound so easy to become financially free. So he started to explain, number 1, you need to learn how to make money. Number 2, it's not about how much money you make, it's about how much money you keep. And number 3, you need to learn how to make your money work for you. If you have these 3 components and you combine them, I call this the golden triangle of an early retirement. For me, it took until the age of 28 to combine these 3 components. And in this video, I want to share my story of how I mastered each of these 3 components. Let's rewind and let's go back to my childhood, because as a little boy, my dad always used to tell me, if you want to live a good life, all you need to do is work hard, get a good job, and climb the corporate ladder. That's how I got programmed by my dad. And I took his advice serious. I worked hard, got decent grades, and then at the age of 23, I was able to land my dream job in Silicon Valley, the mecca of tech. I was hired by a big corporate company with over 400,000 employees worldwide. It was not Google, but it was indeed one of the companies that created the modern day internet. I entered the company as a trainee, and I always jokingly say that I was a glorified barista making just coffees for my managers, my superiors, my colleagues. But I came into the company with a very clear intention. I wanted to build my career. So my philosophy, and I think that if you're watching this video and you're working in a company, I think it's very beneficial to copy this philosophy. Get as much responsibilities and tasks on your plate so that your colleagues cannot move around you. Basically, everything within the company is kind of tied to you, right? Your colleagues are just getting more and more dependent on you. So that's what I started to do. I started to ask my managers like, hey, I've got some ideas and feedback. Can I maybe try to improve this? Or do you mind if next time I lead this meeting? Or can I take this and this task for my responsibility and let's see if that works out and if you're happy with it. Actually, within the company that I was working, very few people were actually proactive like that. So people started to notice, and slowly but surely, I started to get more and more responsibilities, to the point that at one point, I was leading a team of 40 senior engineers, managing a project with more than $500 million in funding. And from the outside world, my friends, my family members, they were all saying like, Mitchell, you are living the dream life. You have a great salary. The company is paying for your housing in one of the most expensive areas in the world. You're living the life, man. But when I was critically looking at my own life and asking myself the question if I was happy or not, actually the answer was that I was super unhappy. I felt scammed by my parents, who told me that the only thing that I had to do in life was to get a good job, climb the corporate ladder, and then I would be able to live a great, fulfilling life. I felt scammed by the education system, which basically taught me to become the perfect corporate worker. This wasn't really what I saw myself doing for the rest of the year. I am not made to work in a cubicle for my entire life. And if you're watching this video, chances are big that probably you aren't made to do that too. I believe that everyone has their own personal values. My top 3 values are: number 1, freedom, impact, adventure. When I was working my corporate job and I was slaving away in the office for 80 hours every single week, none of these 3 values were really being satisfied. Hence, I felt super unhappy. So after doing a lot of soul searching, I decided that I had to take the very difficult decision to quit my job. So I went to my boss's office, I sat down in front of him and I told him, I'm sorry, but I'm going to quit. And he told me, Mitchell, look, this is not coming as a surprise to me. Someone like you isn't meant to be here in this corporate job. And with his blessing, I embarked on my entrepreneurial journey. The funny thing is, on the internet, on YouTube, on Instagram, they romanticize the entrepreneurial journey. Sometimes they make it seem like if you click on a few buttons on your mouse or your keyboard, you instantly have a super profitable online business that allows you to travel the world. Nothing is less true than that. I mean, my entrepreneurial journey, I think for the first 9 months, I failed 4 different businesses. I tried every single business model out there, affiliate marketing, dropshipping, you name it. And I burned through all of my life savings that I've built up in the years that I was having my corporate job. And I remember really vividly that one evening I was laying in my bed. I was covered in sweat. My heart was pounding. The voice in my head was telling me that I should maybe go back to my old boss, send him a message and ask him if there's still a position available for me. The other voice in my head would say, Mitchell, if that's the path that you're going to walk, you are a failure. You are a coward. You are going to be one of those people that tried entrepreneurship and then threw the towel in the ring and basically quit. So I decided to push through a little bit longer and just try one more time. And I'm really happy that I did, because my 5th company became a success. It was an online education company focused on e-commerce. And at the time, there were very few people that were in our space. So we had a blue ocean. We were able to grow the company very quickly from 0 to 7 figures within 9 months. And then from 0 to 8 figures in less than 3 years time. Things were going really well income-wise. At one point we had a penthouse office in Valencia, Spain. We had 25 team members. Our office was overlooking the ocean and I was making more money than ever. However, I wasn't feeling and experiencing the freedom that I once hoped to have. And this is something that I would later solve in my life. But reflecting back on what Grant Cardone told me a few years earlier on stage, he said, you only need 3 things. You need to learn how to make money, how to keep money, and how to multiply your money. In this first phase of my life, I only knew how to make more money. Okay, I grew a company from 0 to 8 figures in 3 years time, which is quite a decent achievement. How was it possible that I was able to grow this company that quickly? Well, it all had to do with investing in my own education and investing in my own skills. Jim Rohn says this: the level of your income is directly proportional to the size of the problem that you are solving. At that time, with my first successful company, we were solving a very big problem. The problem was a lot of people were unhappy with their 9-to-5 job and they wanted to find a way to make money online. I learned the mindset, the skills that was needed to grow this company and to educate our customers and to help them to get great results. Throughout my journey, I reinvested around 10 to 15% of my income every single year to gain more new valuable skills. For example, one of the skills that I learned at a very, very early stage, this was around 6 years ago, I learned how to run Facebook ads, YouTube ads, at a time where very few people knew how to do those kind of things. So because we were in a blue ocean with very little competition and we weren't afraid to spend our marketing dollars, we were able to reach a lot of people in a very short period of time. Hence, we were able to grow the company quickly from 0 to 8 figures in less than 3 years time. There was a next phase in my financial evolution. So while the company was growing, I felt burnt out. I felt continuous financial pressure on my shoulders. Why? Looking back, it is now very easy for me to see, but at the time I was blind to it. I was stuck in the make it, spend it cycle. What is the make it, spend it cycle? Well, that is a cycle where every month you make some money and then throughout the month you spend it on new clothes, on dinners, on travel, on a car, on a nicer apartment. And then when your income starts to increase, your expenses start to increase too. You will just start to find more and creative ways to spend that money. And at the end of the month, my bank account would be practically at zero again. And the next month I would have to work hard again to make more money back. This is the second thing that Grant Cardone taught me. You need to be comfortable with saving up some money in your bank account. You don't have to spend all the money you make. Look, society programs us to be consumers. And being a consumer will keep you trapped financially in the exact same spot that you are right now. So you need to learn to build up your own war chest. Become comfortable with having some money in your bank account. I remember that when I was a student in Amsterdam, I received allowance from the government. So let's say I would receive around 1,500 to 2,000 euros every single month from the government so that I could finance my life as a student. I remember that every single month I would receive this check from the government, and throughout the month I would just find ways to spend that money on buying more beers with my friends, going to more parties, and if at the end of the month I would have a few hundred euros left, I would just buy a new jacket because I knew that next month that money would be replenished again and I would have a new allowance. So I always felt the pressure to spend that money because I knew that next month I would get more money again. This mindset kept with me even though I was making more money. So now I was making 15,000 euros per month compared to 1,500 euros that I was receiving earlier on when I was a student, but still that 15,000 euros I would still spend it every single month because I knew that next month I would get another 15,000 euros. So I had to rewire my brain to start learning how to save money. Because remember, it's not about how much money you make, it's about how much money you keep. And that is the most important thing. On the internet, you see so many people flexing with their revenues of their e-commerce store where there's like $100,000 revenue or 100,000 euros revenue. But when you critically look at how much profit they're making, it's usually a lot lower, and you'd be surprised how low their profit is. Then they're spending all of that profit on a very expensive, lavish lifestyle, buying designer clothes, going to expensive hotels, going to expensive restaurants, and ultimately at the end of the month there is nothing left. They're not really building up anything. Look, when I started my entrepreneurial journey 6 months ago, I went through a wave together with other entrepreneurs where many of my friends became very successful in a short period of time, made a lot of money, but they spend it all. And if I'm looking at where they are financially now in their life, they are still at practically zero, even though they made a lot of money in their entrepreneurial journey. So making a lot of money is not enough. You need to learn how to make money, how to not spend it all. And then here is the final component. You need to learn how to multiply your money. When I was building my first business, is online education platform, slowly but surely I was making more income. I was learning how to save up some money as well, building up my own war chest. And someone recommended me to read the book Rich Dad Poor Dad. If you haven't yet read Rich Dad Poor Dad, I highly recommend you to read it. Rich Dad Poor Dad is my Bible still. Fun fact, everyone that works with us, that works with my new company, the Early Retirement Club, all of my team members need to read Rich Dad Poor Dad. And I don't even tell them to read it, I tell them to study it because I quiz them on how well they understand the knowledge from this book. So what Rich Dad Poor Dad does really well is it explains that if you want to become financially free, you should stop spending your money on liabilities. So liabilities are things that only take money out of your pocket, expensive dinners, designer clothes, travel, and you should invest your money in assets. Assets are things that can increase in value over time or that can pay you a cash flow. So examples of assets are stocks, crypto, real estate, watches, and yeah, there's many more different kinds of assets. But what the book Rich Dad Poor Dad lacks is a practical roadmap of how to actually invest. As a rookie investor with a little bit of money in my bank account, I made one of the biggest rookie mistakes, which is to take investment advice from friends and family members and other unexperienced investors. Or even worse, look at YouTube videos and TikTok videos from finfluencers that are just shilling many different projects. I just started to throw a little bit of money left and right at these investments, hoping that one of them would just make me super rich overnight. But guess what? The opposite happened. So I looked at my results with investing and I saw that I was only losing money with investing. So I did what I always do whenever I'm stuck stuck in a particular area of my life. I always search for the best coach or mentor that has achieved the results that I want to achieve, and then I just invest in learning from them. So in the past 4 years, I've invested over $150,000 in my own education to learn how to invest my money. And I can say that at the age of 28, I became a millionaire because I mastered all of the 3 components. I learned how to make more money. I learned how to not spend all of my money on stupid things and to build up a war chest. And number 3, I learned how to put my money to work. My investment portfolio now grows consistently and predictably. And I think everyone should learn how to invest their money. Why? Because we all have only 24 hours in a day. And if you're trading your time for money, which most people do, then there will always be a limit to how much money you can make. So if you want to break through this glass ceiling, then you need to learn how to put your money to work. Money is a great slave. It's the best employee. It's never sick, it's never complaining, but most people don't know how to put it to work. That's what I will be talking about a lot here on this channel. I'm going to be putting out more valuable videos where I'm going to talk about the topics of money, finance, and business. And if you enjoyed watching this video, if it has given you any valuable insights, make sure to hit the like button and to subscribe for more. And I will see you in the next one. Peace out.